Even though many of us like our jobs, very few of us can say with honesty that our work lives are perfect. The perfect work life would offer enough challenge to be interesting, enough ease to be enjoyable, enough camaraderie to be nourishing, enough solitude to be productive, enough hours at work to get the job done, enough leisure to feel refreshed, enough service to feel needed, enough silliness to have fun, and enough money to pay the bills and then some. Most of us have let that fantasy go along with Father Knows Best and leave it to Beaver. Even the best of jobs have trade-offs. Midlife comes and we discover we've been living our parents' agenda. Or worse, we've been filling teeth for 20 years because some 17-year-old was that really me, decided that being a dentist would be the best of all possible worlds. We've joined the real world, the world of compromise. For all the hype about going for the gold, we're so weary at the end of the day that going for the sofa is as good as it gets. Yet most of us still cling to the notion that there is a way to live life that makes more sense, that brings more fulfillment and has more meaning. The people you'll be hearing about in this book have found that there is another way. There is a way to live an authentic, productive, meaningful life, and have all the material comforts you want or need. There is a way to balance your inner and outer lives, to have your job self be on good terms with your family self and your deeper self. There is a way to go about the task of making a living so that you end up more alive. There is a way to approach life so that when asked, your money or your life, you say, I'll take both, thank you. We aren't making a living, we're making a dying for so many working people. However, from people who love their work to those who barely tolerate their jobs, there seems to be no real choice between their money and their lives. What they do for money dominates their waking hours, and life is what can be fit into the scant remaining time. Consider the average American worker. The alarm rings at 6:45 and our working man or woman is up and running. Shower. Dress in the professional uniform, suits or dresses for some, coveralls for others. Whites for the medical professionals, jeans and flannel shirts for construction workers. Breakfast, if there's time. Grab commuter mug and briefcase, or lunchbox, and hop in the car for the daily punishment called rush hour. On the job from 9 to 5. Deal with the boss. Deal with the coworker sent by the devil to rub you the wrong way. Deal with suppliers. Deal with clients/customers/patients. Act busy. Hide mistakes. Smile when handed impossible deadlines. Give a sigh of relief when the acts known as restructuring or downsizing, or just plain getting laid off, falls on other heads. Shoulder the added workload. Watch the clock. Argue with your conscience but agree with the boss. Smile again. 5 o'clock. Back in the car and onto the freeway for the evening commute. Home. Act human with mates, kids or roommates. Eat. Watch TV. Bed. 8 hours of blessed oblivion. And they call this making a living? Think about it. How many people have you seen who are more alive at the end of the workday than they were at the beginning? Do we come home from our making a living activity with more life? Do we bound through the door, refreshed and energized, ready for a great evening with the family? Where's all the life we supposedly made at work? For many of us, isn't the truth of it closer to making a dying? Aren't we killing ourselves, our health, our relationships, our sense of joy and wonder, for our jobs? We are sacrificing our lives for money, but it's happening so slowly that we barely notice. Graying temples and thickening middles along with dubious signs of progress like a corner office, a private secretary or tenure are the only landmarks of the passage of time. Eventually we may have all the comforts and even luxuries we could ever want, but inertia itself keeps us locked into the 9-to-5 pattern. After all, if we didn't work, what would we do with our time? The dreams we had of finding meaning and fulfillment through our jobs have faded into the reality of professional politics, burnout, boredom, and intense competition. Even those of us who like our jobs and feel we're making a contribution can recognize that there is a larger arena we could enjoy, one that is beyond the world of 9 to 5, the fulfillment that would come from doing work we love with no limitations or restraints, and no fear of getting fired and joining the ranks of the unemployed. How many times do we think or say, I would do it this way if I could, but the board members/Zilch Foundation want it done their way? How much have we had to compromise our dreams in order to keep our funding or our job?